Hey you guys, how's it going? It's Thang here. So I'm on the PTR for patch 2.4, and what you're seeing is me playing on Greater Rift 77th. Now I'm using the Legacy of Nightmare set bonuses. Yes, it has been nerfed, but not on the PTR yet. Even though it has been nerfed, it's still a really great set bonus, and you know, it gives you a variety of other different builds. This pretty much transcends to the other classes as well that can take advantage of it. So with the nerf, it won't really be a top tier build, but it's really one of those higher builds that you can go and progress with in the Greater Rifts. So anyways, but what you're seeing is pretty much the unnerfed build where I'm doing billions and billions, I mean hundreds of billions of damage, and with the nerf, you're still gonna get that hundreds, well, not hundreds of billions, but you're gonna get billions of damage anyways, right? And it will help you progress in higher Greater Rift, and especially those of us who are more casual players, you know, we'll be able to experience that without having to spend time killing ourselves over and over and over and over and over again because we don't want to pay that much. That's right. So it's a really great fun build. So let's go take a look at how it works. Alright, so I've arranged the items from what's required and what's recommended as well. And you know, like I said, this pretty much transcends to other classes, so it's not really limited to the monk itself. But we are going to be requiring the Legacy of Nightmare set items right here, the Wailing Host and the Litany of the Undaunted. Now, before, they used to be extremely horrible and shitty, and I hate finding them because they don't do anything, and now I want them, but I can't find them. Fun, eh? Fun how that works. Anyway, so this is required for this build. Oops, I put it in Kanai Cube. So we're gonna put that on right now. So the set bonus currently reads, while this is your only set item bonus, every ancient item you have equipped increases your damage dealt by 800% and reduces your damage taken by 4%. Now the nerf is that instead of 800, it's going to be 100% per item you equipped. And it's still pretty good, you know, it's still pretty good. So total, there's 13 slot, so total is going to be 1300% increase instead of, well, right now, you know, 800 times 13 is 10,400% increase in damage. So I mean, like I said, it's nerfed. They might increase it a little bit before it goes live. Who knows what they're going to do with it? But it's still really good anyway. So we'll see after the nerf how powerful it is. I mean, right now with the amount of ancient items that I have on it, without it being nerfed, I can do around 70 to 150, almost 200 billion damage. But that's okay. It's still okay. It's still really great anyways. So anyways, next item we're going to need is the Incense Torch of the Grand Temple, because this is a Wave of Light / Fire build. So we're going to be using this to increase our Wave of Light and reduce the cost of Wave of Light right there. So that's why we want the Incense Torch of the Grand Temple. Next is going to be the Salzkrin's Gaze right here to increase our Wave of Light damage by an X amount. Minimum is 125, maximum is 150. It would be nicer if I actually found an ancient one, but that's okay. It's still great anyways. And it also let us cast the Wave of Light to our enemies so that we can play the ranged glass cannon type of class build. So that's why we want that right there. Next is the Pinto's Pride. So what it does is the Wave of Light will slow down enemies for 80% for 3 seconds and deals 140% damage increase. So that's why we want right there. Not only that, but the slowness actually activates our Bane of the Trap right here, because we are going to be more than 15 yards away. The secondary affix from Bane of Trap won't work, won't be activated, so it'll be activated by the Pinto's Pride right here. Okay, so that's why we still have the Bane of Trap. Next one is the Crudus Boots, because we want 2 Mystic Air Ally to help us increase in our Spirit regeneration, and when we activate this Air Ally, then you know we get the 200 Spirit back. So that's why we want the Crudus Boots right there. So for chest piece, it is recommended you have the Cinder Coat to increase our fire damage and reduce the fire cost from our skill. So that's recommended right there. Even if you don't have the ancient one, it's really good to have it because of the fire cost reduction. Help us to spam Wave of Light a lot. Okay, so that's why we want that. If you do have an ancient, that's great, like I do. For gloves, now this is recommended, it's not required. Okay, we want the Mage Fist to increase our fire damage done right there. But if we don't have an ancient one, a better one would be any of the gloves that has almost perfect stats like these with cooldown reduction, and it's ancient. So we want something like this all the time instead of something like this, right? If you have an ancient mage fist, then use that instead. But if you don't, then use, you know, any glove that is ancient and has almost near perfect stats. That we want is, you know, cooldown reduction, critical hit chance, critical damage, and dexterity. And if it's pretty much like this, then you want to reroll your secondary affix to stun mobs. Okay, I don't have it here yet, but it should be in the when you re-roll it. So that's recommended there. Now for shoulders, there is really no good shoulders for you at all. So if you're using Cyclone Strike, just to you want the Lefebvre's soliloquy. Sorry, I can't pronounce this. This shoulders to help you to reduce the damage decrease taken. So you want to use that. If you don't want to use that, then you can use any. Well, you can still have that on there anyways. Then you can use any shoulders that is ancient and almost perfect stats like this. Okay. So for pants, there is no good pants at all. Just use one that has perfect stats and ancient. That's it. There's no perfect pants. For belts, you want to use the witching arrow to help you increase in damage, and also because, you know, if it's almost near perfect stats like this, kind of near perfect stats where your critical hit damage is almost perfect and your attack speed is almost perfect, and you have dex and vitality, you want to reroll the second affix to chance to freeze. So I have it at 4.7% chance to freeze. It'll help with the activating the Bane of the Trap right here, and it's really great at rift guarding bosses as well. You know, slowing him down and then freezing him, and then my Templar also freezes it. So you pretty much put him in a stun lock, so that's really great. So that's and then lastly is the Neckpiece. The best one is always going to be Hellfire Amulet. If you don't have, let's say, an ancient one, it's still, I guess, it's still kind of good. You know, still kind of good. If you have near death experience, but it's better if you have an ancient one. If you don't have an ancient one, then you want something that's like this, Sun Wuku Shrine, where it has sorry, this is bad because I have this. So you want something that's almost near perfect stats, or let me look into my box if I have something that's better. But usually you want something that's almost perfect stats, and it's an ancient item. I don't have anything that's better. So gloves wise, I can't use that with that because then I'll have, you know, a set bonus. So that's why. Anyways, sorry. So if you don't have an ancient version, just get any other amulet or neck piece that has that's an ancient and it's almost near perfect stats, like the Hellfire Amulet, where critical hit chance and critical hit damage is your top priority, and a socket. Okay, so that does that for the items on you. And for the Kunai Cube, always gonna be required is the Kirashiro's Blade to help you increase in wave of light damage by 150, and also if wave of light hits, the impact one hits 3 or fewer enemies, then the damage is increased by an extra 250%. So what that means is this. Okay, so this is wave of light right here, right? There you go. So where it lands, see the fire bell where it lands, that's the initial hit. So you don't want that to hit more than 3 mobs. If it's more than 3 mobs, then you don't get that extra 250% damage increase, okay? You want it to always hit 0 to 3 mobs, period. Then the fire guy that shoots out will always gonna have that 250% increase in damage from that. Okay, so that's how that worked for the Kirashiro's Blade. I'll actually do a showcase on that later on. Okay, and then for the armor piece, I'm using the Lyrics Crown just to help with my cooldown reduction because I have a diamond gem right there in my helm. If you don't have diamond gem, you can put a life gem, life protector gem on there to increase your life right there. If you want to do that instead, it's up to you, but I prefer cooldown reduction to help with my Epiphany be up all the time, or my Mystic Air Ally all the time, so that I can spam Wave of Light constantly. for the ring, we're going to be using the ring, the obsidian ring of the Zodiac, so that every single time our wave of light hits a mob, it'll reduce our cooldown for a certain skill by 1 second. So that's really, really great right there. So that is it for the items and the Kanai Cube. Stats wise, cooldown reduction isn't top priority, but it's nice to have at least 50%, or in my case right now, 32% right there. Around 40 to 50% is good for cooldown reduction. Then you'd want, critical hit chance, critical hit damage as maximum as possible, and then fire damage increase and wave of light damage increase right there. So that's your stats wise. That's what you want. You don't really want attack speed, because you don't want to actually throw out that much wave of light, because you won't be able to regen your spirit as fast as possible anyways. So that's that. Let's go Paragon Levels. You're looking at maximizing your movement speed to be 25%, and then everything else into dexterity. Offensiveness, you want cooldown reduction, critical hit chance, critical damage, and attack speed. Defense, you want resist all, armor, life regen, and then life. Lastly, utility is resource cost reduction, area damage, and life on hit, and then gold fine. So that is for Paragon level. For skills, we're looking at Wave of Light with Explosive Light right here. So fire damage, Wave of Light, and it's pretty much range, playing a ranged character and a glass cannon. So that's what we want right there. And then Epiphany with Mantra of Salvation for toughness, survivability, Mystic Air Ally for that spirit regen, and then when you activate it, you get a 100 spirit per air ally you have. That's why we have the Crudus Boot. Dashing Strike just to help you move across the Greater Rift, and also helps you, well, I'm using Radiance to help you increase damage, so that's up to you if you want to use that. If you don't want to use that, you can use Blinding Speed. It's not like you really need Blinding Speed anyways. Lastly is going to be, this is up to you whether you want to use Blinding Flash. Faith in the Life help you increase your damage by 26% for 3 seconds. And because we're using these Ring of Zodiac, the Obsidian Ring of the Zodiac, it's going to be up pretty much all the time. If you don't want to use that, you can always use Breath of Heaven with Blazing Wrath, 10% for 9 seconds right there. Or if you want survivability, you can use Cyclone Strike with the Eye of the Storm without shoulders that I can't pronounce the name to reduce your damage taken by 50%. So that's the last skill that you can pretty much juggle. Or you know what? If you really need the sweeping with Inner Storm, but I've never really had that problem with Spirit with the gears that I have and the skills that I have. Anyway, I don't really have that problem, but if you do, then you can use that instead. For passive skills, we're going for Exalted Soul to increase our spirit regen, and then maximum spirit if you really want that. Next one is the Sixth Sense and Harmony, just to help us with surviving as much as we can. Lastly is going to be Near Death Experience. Now, if you have the Hellfire Amulet that has Near Death Experience, then you want the Beacon of Utah to help you with a cooldown reduction. It really does help. So that is it for the skill, and that's pretty much it for... Oh yeah, lastly is going to be the Legendary Gems. Yeah! We're using the Zeistone of Vengeance here because we are going to be more than 15 yards away from the enemies, or pretty much a lot of the enemies, so you're going to always have the maximum X amount of damage right there. Then we're going to be using the Bane of Trap, increases X amount of damage. The secondary affix will never be activated, really, because we're always going to be more than 15 yards away. That's why our Pinto's Pride right here, where it comes in, it will activate our Bane of Trap for us, so that we'll be able to have that X amount of damage all the time. And if you reroll the Witching Hour or the gloves to have secondary affixes to stun and freeze, then that would definitely help itself. And then lastly is our Bane of the Stricken here, where pretty much the first affix doesn't really matter, doesn't really count at all, because you're going to be killing things really fast anyways, unless you're going to the much higher greater rifts, then that would help. But mostly it's the secondary affix where it'll help you kill the Rift Guardian faster. So those are the 3 gems recommended for you. If you don't want to use the Bane of the Stricken, you can always actually use the Bane of the Powerful right here, where gain 25% increased damage for X amount after killing an elite pack, which you will kill, and then increase damage against elite by 15% as well. So 35% increase to all elites all across the board if you have the buff on, and 20% to everything else. So that's up to you if you want to use that, or you can use the Gokok of Swiftness to help you with your cooldown reduction, but that won't really be up all the time. So that's up to you. So those are the other 2 recommended gems that I would recommend using if you don't want to use the Bane of the Stricken, sorry. And I think that's about it. Yeah, that's about it for this build. It's really good. Even with the nerf that's coming, you know what? It's still really great anyways, because it's a nice different type of build to use. You know, I think this was like in season 2, but it wasn't as powerful, but now it's really powerful, even with the let's say the debuff that's gonna happen. Oh, I did not put on all my gems, but that's okay. See, you just kind of hit from afar and it just dies. Like right now 60 billion, so 58 billion, 48 billion. Even with the nerf, it's still good. That's gonna happen. It's gonna happen on Tuesday, I believe. That's when the patch comes out. But we'll come back to it and I'll cover it. I won't cover the full thing. I'll just like, oh, this is nerfed, and you know, oh, is it still viable? Yes, kind of thing. Okay. So that's about it. Thank you guys so much for watching. And if you like this video, definitely put a thumbs up. And you know, questions or comments, leave them down below, because I liked interacting with people. But don't be a fucking troll. If you do be a troll, I'm gonna fucking kill you. I'm just kidding. I like trolls too. They're cute. Anyways, thank you so much for watching. I'll see you guys next time. Bye. Oh, press subscribe. Bye.